Hi everyone, I'm Carly from ArtCEE, and today we're doing a bit of a drawing exercise inspired by Roger Swainston. Let's learn about him first. Roger Swainston is an Australian painter, naturalist and zoologist who loves the ocean and the animals that live in it. He studies sea creatures like fish and coral to learn more about them. He also draws beautiful, detailed pictures of what he sees. Roger combines science and art to help people understand and care about life under the sea. His drawings are so realistic that it feels like you're swimming underwater. He hopes his artwork will inspire others to protect the ocean and all the amazing creatures that live there. Minimal materials needed today: A3 black card, a white pencil, and a set of your favorite oil pastels. This project explores the art element of line. Line is like the path a pencil makes when you draw. It can be straight, wavy, zigzag, thick, thin, long, or short. Lines help make shapes, show movement, and add detail to your artwork. When we join lines, it equals shape. Harmony is the art principle we are exploring today. Harmony is when you put similar things together in your art to make them look like they belong together. Keeping similar colours together creates harmony in a drawing like our abyssal fish. Okay, so because we are exploring all things science and art and space this term, we thought it would be really cool to take a fish that you would find really deep and dark in the depths of the ocean, the abyssal fish, and turn it into a line drawing, but do it with white pencil on black card and then use oil pastels to blend it in. What's an abyssal fish? An abyssal or anglerfish is one that lives deep, deep, deep down in the ocean where there is no sunlight ever. They have some really unusual features, like really big eyes to see things better, really sharp teeth for catching other fish, and glowing parts of their bodies called bioluminescence to attract their prey. So this is very much a drawing exercise, and it's something that you can do simply or you can expand on. So I'm going to be showing you a lot today line work, the element of line, and also how to get your color shading right when using oil pastels, because there is a technique, and if you do it properly, you should get something that really pops from the page. Okay, so first of all, we're going to do a bit of a drawing exercise. We're going to draw our fish. So I'm going to show you a picture. This is what we're aiming for, okay? So when we have a look at a drawing, we try and see it in shapes rather than this whole big image that's going to be really hard to draw. So what I want you to have a look at is that the base of this fish is actually a big drop of water, like a big teardrop, if you can see. So we're going to start with that shape first on your page. But why I want to show it to you here is because I want you to see scale. I want you to see the size of the fish on the paper. So obviously we've got the negative space at the back. That's where we're not putting anything, and the positive space is where we're drawing our lines. And what we know about lines is when we join them up, they become a shape, right? So we need to think about all of our drawings in terms of lines that are joined up to create shapes, and that's how we end up with a whole picture like we have here. So let's take that away. Let's get our big piece of paper, and the easiest way, so I've done this drawing a few times thinking about what's the easiest way to teach someone to draw it. So I would say, instead of having it landscape like I do now, I want you to turn it portrait, okay? And I want you to think about, first of all, the drop of water that's going to be the body of our abyssal fish. So to do that, I'm going to think about my paper and kind of split it up. So I'm going to put the base of my tail towards the end. Now this is the drop, not the tail on the end. This is the end of my body. So I'm going to put a dot there so I know that that's where I want to start from. I'm going to put a dot out here because this is going to be the widest part of my fish. Okay, I'm going to put a tip here because that's going to be my nose or my mouth of the fish. And I'm going to put another dot here and then one up here because this side is slightly thinner than the other, but this part of the mouth goes slightly wider. If you're still with me, I'll show you how we then join these up, kind of like a dot to dot. So go lightly first. We're going to take that pencil and join it to that first dot. Then we're going to curve it so that it comes down to that next dot. Okay, so you can see how we're still getting the drop. Then I want to match up this dot here, but I know that I need to curve it some more. And then I'm coming to this dot here, up to this dot, and then I'm going out to my tail. Okay, so if I turn it back this way, you can see that this is the body of my abyssal fish. So now I can go ahead and make that a little bit darker. But what I'm going to do is when I get to the top of the head, I'm going to stop because that's where my eye comes in. So I'm going to leave a gap essentially, come down, and then I'm going to stop just before my dot because again, that's going to be the big open mouth. So I'm actually going to get rid of this line. So this is the key of drawing really lightly. You can kind of rub out your lines a little bit. And this is where I'm going to put in a big triangle, like an open triangle, and that's going to end up being my mouth, if you can see that. Now I'm going to bring it a bit further up because I want it to have a bit of a lip. And then I'm going to follow along and finish there. So now I've got the base shape for my abyssal fish. What I'm going to do now is just add details. So to do the tail on top of the body, it's really simply a triangle, but watch this. I'm going to do a line like a fan, line. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and I'm going to join them, and I'm going to join them using like a half moon or a smile. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and that's your tail done. So I'm going to take that technique and I'm going to do the same up here for this, the dorsal fin, is that what it's called? The fin that's up the top. So I'm going to do what, and I'm going to do it like a fan. So I'm going to go stripe, 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 like that. And then I'm going to join those up again. Stripe, stripe. Can you see that? And then because it's like, you know, a scary looking fish, I'm going to put a couple of little triangle zigzags either side to just give it a little bit more. And then it has another little fin that comes out the bottom. So I'm going to do the same. Stripe, 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 just 3 this time. And I'm going to join them up like that. And again, you can do your little zigzag if you want, and a zigzag here. Okay. And then there's another one of those fins here, and it's kind of a little bit in the middle. So what you can do is start with a half moon and then stripe, 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 and then join, 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 like that. Okay, so our fish is really starting to come to life now. So now we need to draw in the eye. So remember how we left that gap there? What we're going to do now is we're going to draw like a little mountain. So we're going to start here, we're going to go up, and we're going to go down. Okay, that's the eye. We're also going to draw the, like a, because it's like a bulgy eye, we're going to do another one just here so you can see that they're joined on. And then it's up to you what you do with these eyes. You can come and put like a little eyelid on if you want. You can make it look really beady by putting your eye in like that. Mine feels like it's gonna be look a little bit happier than my other one already, but it's up to you. You can put some lines in underneath like that. It's all just line work, adding detail, okay? We're gonna do the mouth now. So the mouth is super easy. It's just triangles joined. So we're gonna start with, let's start with the bottom. So I'm gonna actually follow that line that I rubbed out for the first tooth. I'm gonna go up, and then I'm gonna come back down. And then I'm gonna follow that, but just leave a bit of a gap each time, like that, because when I come down and do the top teeth, I'm gonna have them sit inside my triangle. Can you see that? So now our fish has more of a sharp looking snaggletooth mouth, although it still looks happier than my other one, but that's okay, that's totally fine. Now, it wouldn't be the abyssal fish if we didn't have its little beacon, so they're like antennae that it has out in front of it glowing, so that small unsuspecting predator fish see it, and then this one can come and get it. So to do that, the easiest way is to draw a loop up and down, and another one up and down. And you want it to stop just in front of the mouth, because that's the idea. The little antennae glows, a fish is attracted to it, it comes up to eat it, and it doesn't know that the abyssal fish has its big mouth behind ready to munch it. So we're going to finish by putting a ball here, circle, with a bit of a loop, and then we're just going to put some rays out from it to show that it's glowing. Okay, so that is the basis of our fish. I hope you've been able to follow along. Again, you can go back, stop the video, slow it down, and just follow along. What you might like to do now is add other fish around. It's really up to you. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you now how to color it. Okay, so we are going to color our fish, or we're actually going to do line work, and we're going to make it look like it's glowing, it's neon. Now there's a couple of ways to do this. I'm going to show you step one, which is simply doing line work around. And then if you want to go further, I'm going to show you how to shade the fish to get a brighter artwork. Okay, so this is version 1. So you can just mark it up like that, leave it, that's fine. You could clean it up a bit with a wet wipe or a cloth or something, and you could hang that up. That artwork is perfectly fine and ready to go. If you want to stick around, I can show you how to look at blending more, just to give a bit more of a detailed color. Okay, so here's one I prepared earlier. So what I'm going to do is talk you through my process for this one, and this is if you want to do more advanced shading, looking at how the oil pastels blend together, how you can use dark and light to create something that's poppin' from your page. When you want to understand how colors go together, when you think about the rainbow, you've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and it is essentially a loop. So from the violet, you'll go back into red. If you stick with shading of colors that sit next to each other on that rainbow, then you're always going to get harmony in the way that your colors look together. A short way of saying this is if you keep cool colors together and warm colors together, you're going to get balance in your drawing, in your coloring, and that's what looks effective on the page. So if you can remember that, the rainbow spectrum and keeping colors next to each other when you're coloring with them, as well as using white to blend over the top, it's the best thing to do with oil pastels. Don't use your finger, don't use paper, blend with the white, and it will help all those colors smoothly transition into each other. Okay, so that is our second artwork done, which has a lot more detail with the shading. But I think either way that you decide to do this project, you're going to get something that looks pretty awesome and is a real great way to teach yourself line. And line, as we know, is the basis of all drawing. So would love to see how you go. Really grateful for you being here. And I look forward to doing some ArtCEE with you soon. Bye.